Hello and welcome to Ani's Short Stories. I hope you enjoy this story. I'm going to try and upload a new story each day. The Enigma of the Velvet Glove. The grand ballroom of the Hawthorne estate glittered under the light of a dozen crystal chandeliers, each one casting a warm, golden glow over the assembled guests. It was the night of the annual Hawthorne Charity Ball, an event that drew the elite of high society ladies in shimmering gowns and gentlemen in tailored tuxedos, their laughter a symphony of privilege. Amid the opulence, Holly Arnold stood out like a shadow in sunlight. A young detective with the city's police force, she tugged at the sleeve of her borrowed black dress, feeling every bit the outsider. Tonight, her role was security, a task she'd assumed would be uneventful. Until a scream shattered the illusion. It erupted from the far end of the ballroom, where a display case showcased the evening's auction items. Holly pushed through the crowd, her sharp eyes scanning for clues even before she reached the scene. The glass case was smashed, its velvet-lined interior bare. The Hawthorne diamond, a priceless gem donated for charity, had vanished. Chaos bloomed instantly. Guests gasped, clutching their own jewels. Holly's pulse quickened, but her voice cut through the din with calm authority. Everyone, please remain calm. I'm Detective Holly Arnold. Stay where you are while I secure the area, as the crowd hushed into uneasy silence. The glass had been broken outward to forceful theft. No fingerprints stood out, but something else did, a single velvet glove, deep burgundy, lying discarded on the polished floor. She lifted it with care, noting its fine embroidery and a faint floral perfume clinging to the fabric. This was no common glove. It whispered wealth, intention, mystery. Who would leave such a thing behind? A careless thief or a cunning misdirection? Holly slipped it into an evidence bag, her mind already racing. The answers hid among these masked faces, and she would find them. The investigation begins. Holly started with the hostess, Mrs. Selina Hawthorne, a regal woman draped in pearls, her composure fraying at the edges. Mrs. Hawthorne, who had access to the display case, only myself and the auctioneer, Mr. Pembroke, she replied. The security team was at the entrances. Holly breathed. There was a young man, Victor Grayson, charming, but too curious about the diamond. He asked about its history, its value. Next, she found Mr. Pembroke, the auctioneer, his bow tie askew from nervous fidgeting. I stepped away for a moment to fetch the catalogue. When I returned, it was gone. Anyone knew the case before you left. A woman in a red dress, elegant, wearing a velvet glove on her left hand. She wore a mask. Masquerade theme, you know. A glove. They describe her, tall, slender, dark hair piles high. That's all I saw. The masks complicated things. She interviewed others, building a suspect list. Victor Grayson, charming, diamond-obsessed, with a petty theft record. The woman in red, mysterious, possibly linked to the glove. Thomas Blackwood, a fired estate employee, bitter and vengeful. She needed more. Back at the station, Holly examined the glove under a magnifying glass. Amid the embroidery, a tiny monogram emerged, LV. Cross-referencing the guest list, 3 names matched. 1. Lady Victoria Langley, a widow with rumored gambling debts. 2. Mrs. Lillian Vanderbilt, a philanthropist with a solid alibi. 3. Miss Lucille Vane, a wild socialite, evasive and unpredictable. Chasing clues. Holly interviewed each LV. Lady Victoria was dismissive, her eyes darting. I've no need for stolen gems, detective. A tremor in her voice hinted at lies. Mrs. Vanderbilt was serene. I was with my husband all night. Her alibi held Hollywood check. Lucille Vane smirked, twirling a curl. I don't recall where I was, dancing. Her vagueness screamed suspicion. The glove nagged at Holly. She scoured the estate, finding a shred of red silk snagged on a rose bush in the garden. It matched the woman in red. Nearby, fresh footprints in the mud led to a side exit. She cast them in plaster, sent them to the lab. Meanwhile, she dug into Victor and Thomas. Victor had spoken to Thomas that day, partners perhaps. She confronted Thomas at a tavern. I didn't steal anything. Weak but improvable. Lab results landed, size 10 men's shoes, worn distinctively. Victor and Thomas fit the bill. Then Holly recalled Lucille's odd-fashioned men's shoes under her gown. A hunch formed. The truth unravels. With a warrant, Holly searched Lucille's home. In her closet, size 10 men's shoes caked in estate mud. The soil matched. But why the diamond? Why the glove? Lucille's finances told the tale. Debts piled high, family funds cut off. The diamond was her escape. The glove? Holly re-examined the tear near the wrist. The jagged case edge could have snagged it, forcing Lucille to flee without it. In interrogation, Lucille cracked. I needed the money. The glove caught. The diamond was recovered from her apartment. A detective's triumph. Holly stood in the station, the glove now evidence, its enigma solved. Her first big case closed. From humble roots, she'd pierced high society's veneer, proving her worth. The velvet glove, once a puzzle, had led her to the truth, sharp eyes and sharper instincts prevailing. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed this story. Please don't forget to like, and even better, like and subscribe. Thank you very much, and I hope you have had or have a great day.